Greetings and salutations, Second Starlight, back with more Raid Shadow Legends. On screen here we have Scabrius, who is a attack champion, epic of the Skinwalker faction, and I love anthropomorphic rats. I don't know, I think I just have like a weakness for it. I don't know. Maybe if Disney were to, resurrect Secret of Nim, perhaps he could be their new Jenner. I don't know. It's a pretty cool design. I like the grafted. Oh, something dropped something over there. I like the grafted rats in his shoulder. It's just a cool design all around. He's good stuff. Oh, so nasty. Anyway, but how useful is he in game? Well, let's take a look. See, he has some pretty useful skills. Gutter knife is a single target attack, 50% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. So it's the big poison, has a nice big fat 50% chance that you can get up to 70% if you chose to book him. And it depends. I did not book him. I don't know if on my account if using the books on him would be worthwhile or not. Probably not. I have a lot of other poisoners that are a bit better, but sometimes poisoners are hard to find. And if this is your first poisoner, then you could do worse. Okay, so Gunner Knife, pretty decent A1. Gnawing Horde is a really fun animation, probably one of my favorites in the game. Attacks all enemies with a 75% chance of placing a leech for 2 turns. So you can get that up to 100% if you wanted to book it. And you can get it down to 3 turns. Gnawing Horde would be a fun 3-turn attack to do. And Leech is a great. As your account matures and you do more damage more consistently, Leech can be a really, really good account. You can kind of graduate from your lifesteal if you use Leech, because it's returning a lot of healing to you as you do damage, right? So Gnawing Horde is good, and then Vicious Spite. Now this is a hard one for me because it's on a 5-turn cooldown that you can get down to 4 turns, but it has a Weaken on it. Weaken is a really good debuff. But I don't like that it's on a 5-turn native cooldown. It means you kind of almost have to book it for it to be effective. You can't get it up to 100% chance, which is great. Nice having 100% weaken on 4 turns is okay, but that again, you're putting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books into it, and that's if you just get lucky. I just don't know. This having it on a native 5-turn cooldown, having to put 5 books to make it really worthwhile is tough. But also places increased attack on the champion for 2 turns if the weaken is placed. So it's really doing 2 things. It's good. I like the attack, but I just don't like the way that it's built right here. I don't like 5 turns getting down to 4 turns with 5 books. I don't know. I have issues with that. That's the one thing I don't like about this champion. If it's weaken is an important debuff, and you really kind of want it on a 3-turn cooldown. But what are you gonna do? That's just not how he's built. And then he also has a passive Verminous, where his damage increases by 20% when attacking enemies under poison debuffs. So that's not just his own poison. That's like if he's teamed with other poisoners, then that affects him too. And I really like that mechanic. So if you pair him with another poisoner that also benefits from having poison debuffs, like say Venom Mage, or of course the Poison Exploders, but Zavia and who's the other Poison Exploders? Kamar? What was the guy's name? I don't remember. Anyway, you see what I'm saying. Venom Mage benefits from having poisons on the account, on your opponent, and several others do too. Not just the Poison Exploders, but of course, teaming with Poison Exploders is the best. Shagger, who I just did, Chigor, who I just did a video on, benefits from having poisons debuffs on. So there's a lot, and if you can pair them up together, then you can get some really good results. Alright, so let's look at the Masteries. Okay, now, I have him as crit damage. I just kind of wanted to see how much damage he would do. He'd probably be better off with War Master, just using his A1, but I just wanted to see how much damage he could do if I put the extra 20% on for Flawless Execution. But unfortunately, if I can go back to his total stats real quick, I was only able to get him up natively to 199%, basically 200%. And that's using, crit damage gloves and a crit damage neck. So, usually when you have those 2 things, you're well on your way to getting a nice, 225%. You usually find another 25% somewhere in the other gear, but I just didn't. right? I just couldn't find it. So I kind of feel that if you can't get around 220, 225% crit damage, then you're kind of better off going War Master in general. That's just my opinion. Your mileage may vary, but that's kind of how I feel about it. But I didn't do that. I just rolled with it. Wanted to see what would happen. And the results are pretty promising, right? So if you can pump in some more crit damage, you can see even better. But when we get into the fights, we'll show you what's going on. I have him in a toxic set, so I really want to, focus in and double down on his poisoning ability. So even though the percent that you get from a toxic set, 2.5%, is just not very good. If you're teaming with Poison Exploders or like say Venom Mage or Kramer or whatever the other guy is, that's Poison Exploder, that's epic, then you can get some really good results, because you just want the debuff down. You don't really care as much about the damage as the effect they can have on the other champions. So I double down, right? So he has chances of landing poison on his attacks that don't land poisons, right? So he can land poison on his AoE attack as well. So it just makes him and other champions better if we do it that way. That's my opinion. All right. So anyway, I have him up to Flawless Execution. I have a bunch of things supporting that, and I know, I talked about Opportunist last time. It's really good when you're going to be in a team that's using these debuffs. Might as well just do it. It's awesome. And if you're an attack champion, getting the blood shield can be nice. I have typical accuracy here. I chose Lore of Steel over Evil Eye. Again, this is another your mileage may vary thing. I just tend to think that a lot of times you get more value out of this. If you're going to double up into here, or if you're not, it's safe to take Evil Eye, I think. But anyway, that's just personal opinion in what your playstyle is and just what you like. All right, so now let's go back in artifacts and let's look over the total stats a bit closer. 27,000 hit points. This is very low, right? But I know that I'm running with good resers, so I didn't worry so much. I just kind of chalk up the fact that I know he's going to die a lot, but I know he's going to be res a lot, and it'll be fine. And so I'm not really concerned about it. Almost 4,000 attack, 3889, 3839. About 2,000 defense. 196 speed. I can get higher. I only have his boots up to 12 speed, but this is where I wanted him in the team composition. 72% crit rate is fine. You can get away with that. 75 better. 72. You're all right. A lot of times I run with a crit lead, but I don't think I have been running with a crit lead in a lot of the videos that I made here. Again, the 199% crit damage. Would like that to be a bit higher. Perhaps if I work on my Great Hall, I can get that up a bit more. Resist, I'm not really worrying about that. And then accuracy, I really want to land those debuffs. So 234 accuracy. Okay, so let's see what he does. I don't know where to start here. Okay, let's just throw him into Dragon 25. Okay, so I show the videos at Dragon 20, but I just wanted to show that even with his 27,000 health, he could manage getting through a level 25 dungeon. And I did Ice Golem as well, and I did Spider with him in the team at that level 25. It's hit and miss, especially if he's running opposite affinity, then he's not going to do very well. He's just kind of holding up space, and he can probably do better. I'd definitely swap him out if his opposite affinity, because he just does. I'm not sure that he brings a lot, unless of course is your only poisoner and you want poison on the boss. Then he'd be alright, but if you can swap him out for opposite affinity, I definitely would. He's not one of those ones where you can just say he's so invaluable in other ways that we want him on the team. I just don't think that he fits that bill. But he's doing decent damage at level 25. I mean, these are level 350, level 350 opponents, and he's bringing the pain when he crits at least. Bringing in that 199% crit damage, right? I wish it was just 200%. One more percentage point, right? It would have been happy. But so I'm running with Duchess, of course. Duchess is one of the best champions in the game. Soulless for some defense. Draco for additional buffs. He also has a weaken in addition to Scabrius's, and he actually, I thought it was interesting at the very beginning of this fight, he actually opened with his weaken rather than his AoE, which is weird. Interesting choice by the AI, but he didn't land that A3 attack. He landed the attack, but he didn't land the debuff, right? So again, that A3 gives me some issues. You really want it booked for it to be effective, and I haven't done so. So his efficacy is a little bit gimped, but if you just look at his damage output as he just gets a weak hit, it's actually not that bad, especially on this level 25, which is kind of a pain in the butt sometimes. He's holding his own pretty nicely. He hasn't even died yet, I don't think. And of course we have Xavia, and here Xavia is going to take advantage of the poison exploding from her poisons, Dracomo's poisons, and Scabrius's poisons. Oh, now he dies. He dies after the res. Thanks a lot, Scabrius. You make me look bad. And also to run this at 125% because these level 25 dungeons just take way too long. They're just, bullet sponges or poison exploding sponges. Yeah, so as you can see, being opposite affinity, he's not doing exceptionally well here. But he's doing right. When he crits, he's doing good. It's just if he weak hits, then it's just a sad state of affairs. But he's able to get through it. He did his 772 damage, which isn't bad, but I mean, he barely beat out Solus, who was there for defense, even though Solus is a known heavy hitter. But he held his own, right? So if you have Scabrius and he's one of your only poisoners, he can potentially do you right. Here, let me put myself back up top here. I don't like it when I'm not around. There we go. That's better. I feel better about things now. So he held his own. I mean, he is opposite affinity, level 25 dungeon, and he made it through with under 30,000 hit points. Granted, we have Duchess as support, but still, you could do worse. Okay, so let's look somewhere else. Let's go to what's this? Arena 3. Okay, this is when I think I'm gonna take him down to a 1 speed, just so you can see his animations. I want to show off his animations so badly. Let's see. Come on, get to him. All right, so here's his AoE attack with the plague of rats that go and attack your opponent. I love it, man. I love it. It entertains me to no end. That's just so awesome. And then his A2, his A3 is another cool one where he surrounds his opponent with a plague of rats and they all attack from all sides. It's pretty awesome, and I think we take down Syl with it in just a second. Come on, let's have a turn, Scabrius. Okay, here we go. Now we're gonna do the A3, and boom. It's awesome. I just love it. It just makes me happy. And it's all over for the crying. We got both the resers down, so now we can concentrate on whittling away the other dudes. But that's a nice 40,000 hit from our boy Scabrius there on Frankenstein. Okay, so again, this was a little underpowered team. They're only 118. I was 136, but they didn't have any real meaningful composition there, so no big deal. But look at that, he did 162,000 damage. There's nothing wrong with that at all. All right, so here we go. This is him when he doesn't go first. So I have it. So he has the clan war trinkets, so he's able to survive the initial attack. If he didn't have the initial attack, then he's probably always going to go down first and go down hard because he just doesn't have the survivability that the other champions do. But you can kind of, with the proper gear, just getting those trinkets in arena. If you want to survive your initial hit, then that's the way you can do it, and you kind of add some survivability. And okay, let's go. Let's get a Mountain King down. There we go. And he gets the death blow in. And how does our boy Scabrius do? 60,000. He's teamed with Shigor. Shigor is always gonna win out. And Shigor is just amazing. And I think I have one more arena fight that we can go to. This is one where we're going first instead of him hitting the brunt, and so we can see what he can contribute here. Alright. Send in our plague of rats. Are you gonna send the plague of rats? There we go. I guess I was deep in thought before I hit the button, I guess. Alright. So we got a couple poisons down. We did not land a poison on Valkyrie, unfortunately, but that's okay. No, even if my strategy is always take the registers down first, so even if they're not necessarily the right opposite affinity, right? Which is usually to maximize your damage and make the fights go faster. You usually focus on your opposite affinity first, but I usually just do the resers and healers first. Because I hate it when you get them down to like 1 hit point left and then they get healed to full, and that drives me crazy. So that's just how I do things. Alright, and there we go. And how does Scabrius do? 111,000. That's, it's fine. He's our main damage dealer. That's what we expect, but he comes through, and he's a fun champion. And he can make other champions better, especially if you're playing with Venom Mage and stuff like that. I futzed around with it a little bit, and it was entertaining. It was a good time. It's good to see, these champions work in symmetry to get things done. So, Scabrius, you can do worse. He's a fun champion. I wouldn't prioritize him as like a number 1, but again, if you're early game and he's like one of your first epics and you need a poisoner, he can kick it in Clan Boss. He can help you out in Ice Golem. He's great there. He's great in a lot of the potion dungeons. He can do Spider, right? He can do it. He needs a lot of support there, though. And Fire Knight, you're just not going to want him there. He's not going to help you at all in Fire Knight. But everywhere else, he's not bad. It's fun in faction. He's great in Faction Wars. He's fun in the Doom Tower. He's just a good all-around champion. Not great, I'd give him 7.95, right? Almost an 8, right? He's good. And I like poisoners anyway. And I tried to build him as best as I could with what I had. So I hope this helps you out. And if you did like it, please comment below what you enjoyed, what you didn't like. Throw me a like if you did like it, and subscribe if you wanted to see more, because I'm having a good time. All right, guys. I'll see you next time in Teleria, and have fun and enjoy. And I'm out.